All right, are you ready for this? Number one, we are not answering the question of how to make a vegetable chartreuse because no one ever has this question and no one ever has had to make one before. I'm sure that not a single viewer of this particular video has ever seen or made, and in many cases even heard of, a chartreuse. Let me give you a quick history of what this means. Chartreuse, dating back about 250 years in French cooking, used to be the definition of different types of things that were molded with multiple colors, okay? There were a lot of wild game chartreuses with vegetables at that time. And today's chartreuse, which is, chartreuse of course means that exotic coloring to begin with, you know, green, yellow, and orange, will be made with vegetables, green beans, carrots, and it's going to be a decorative mold that we're going to make in a 2-quart souffle mold. Now, one of the things about the 2-quart souffle mold that's important is that it's not tapered. And from time to time, if you look in the marketplace, you'll find that these bowls are slightly tapered off to the, shooting off outside of the bottom a little bit, and you don't want those. The other thing you don't want is a mold that has an indentation anywhere in the bottom of the mold. So you want this mold to be flush and flat, and a 2-quart mold, which is what this is what's required for this particular recipe. Now, one can make a miniature chartreuse in a smaller mold if they want, but they would have to change the accommodation of some of the vegetable cutting, etc., and so on, okay? But we're going to show you how to make a really nice one that would be especially good for a vegetarian special event or like a holiday. You might want to make something like this for Thanksgiving if you have a lot of people over and you want to impress them with how, quote, artistic your cooking can be. Because this, as you will see, as we unmold this, as we bake this, as we assemble this, as we cut, cook, blanch, season all the vegetables and assemble them into this mold, that this is a very special and interesting dish to look at and both make. There is a little bit of time involved in making this item. I would probably schedule for you in total an hour to an hour and a half of prep time for the vegetables and assembling them, okay? What we're going to do here is we're going to butter the mold. We're going to line the mold with peas on the bottom. We're going to put a layer of spiral squash. We're going to put cabbage. We're going to put mashed potatoes. We're going to put Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, and we're going to reload this and season this and reload it and season it until it's all full. Then we're going to put it in the fridge, let it get cold, and then when we're ready to serve it, we just take it out and pop it in the oven. And we're going to get to that point, and then we're going to get to the unmolding of it and show you just how perfect and simple the item can be. So we're going to begin by going over, I want to go over the vegetable selections with you, particularly the green beans and the carrots, which need to be a specific size. You are looking for green beans that look like this. And obviously they have to fit, not obviously at this point, but it will be obvious to you soon, that they have to be able to fit over the top of this mold. And the carrots have to be cut so that they look something similar to the size of the green beans, you see? So I have all these carrot sticks that I made out of peeled carrots. And let me have a carrot, please, Louis, so I can demonstrate how that's done. But I'll do that while this stuff is blanching here. But for now, let's just get a carrot here. All right. So I have boiling salted water back here going in all these pots. And we're going to blanch all the stuff that we have. And I have ice waters all set up over here so we can shock the vegetables in the ice water, which would be like a standard blanching procedure, okay, also for the vegetables. And you'll see that, of course, in the vegetable class, which we cover that extensively, which I believe is DVG number 4. All right, so I got some cauliflower florets here, and we're going to drop them in boiling water back here. And we're going to drop our green beans, and then we have to clean all the green beans after we blanch them. So we blanch them whole before we clean them. We'll drop the green beans in a big pot over there. And we will drop the Brussels sprouts in another big pot over here. And we will drop the carrot sticks into another one here. I seem to have lost one there. That's okay. And we have zucchini and yellow squash here, which I will need to show you how to cut. But first, before we get to that point with the zucchini and the yellow squash, I'm going to go to the buttering of the mold and the positioning of the peas in the mold, okay? So, when I say to heavily butter the mold, I mean that you almost cannot have too much butter in this mold, okay? You don't want your stuff getting stuck, your vegetables getting stuck when you go to turn this mold out onto your serving tray. It's good to keep a sweat rag around, you know? All righty. That's about as much butter as I can get in there, all right? Now, what I want you to do is 1 pea at a time or 2 peas at a time. Set your peas in the mold along the perimeter, okay? And we're going to time-elapse this right now. I'm going to fill this all up with peas, and we'll be right back when I get this done. So you don't have to stand here and watch me fill this mold up with peas, okay? All right, I have all the peas inside the mold. About 5 minutes has elapsed. I've had some water and washed my hands for a second. Now the carrots and the green beans are done blanching right now. They're still in the water though, but we're going to get them out of the water, the hot water, and we're going to put them into ice water. Same thing with the green beans. This shocking of the ice water in the ice water stops the cooking process and keeps your vegetables green. And the cauliflower is also done. The Brussels sprouts are not done, and we'll let them cook a little longer. Meanwhile, you and I will talk about the completion of this bowl and the few cabbage leaves that we have to blanch. And I want to show you how to clean the cabbage to get the leaves that you want out of it, okay? We're done with the peas now. There we go. All right. I would cut this out a little bit first. Just enough so you can peel back a few leaves. Now when you're peeling cabbage leaves, sometimes you want to start at this side to avoid them from breaking. Or you want to do a combination, loosen a little bit here, loosen a little bit there, loosen a little bit here, loosen a little bit there from the top to the bottom so you can get the leaf off in one piece. It isn't essential for this particular recipe that you get it off in one piece, but sometimes if you're making stuffed cabbage it might be, because this would be kind of the same process for making stuffed cabbage leaves, taking off the leaves and then individually blanching them. So we're going to take these few leaves that we have here and we'll drop them in boiling water also. We'll cook them while we're playing around with this mold and I'm showing you how to put this thing together. By the way, if you have the energy and the time and you want to do something really special for somebody that you like to make food for, this is one of those items to do, and I tell you, they will be impressed. And you will be too when you see the end of this video and you see how this dish comes out. Now, let's just get those leaves below the surface of the water and it'll be all right. Now, here's the trick with the green beans and the carrots in terms of assembling them into the mold. And we're going to time elapse this, of course, so you don't have to sit here and watch me do this. And on the green beans now, we're going to just cut one end off of them and make it flat, okay? There's a couple. And there's another one. 1, 2, 3. I think 5 will be enough to get me started to show you how to line the mold. Okay? Now, the vegetable has to be properly blanched so that it has some flexibility like this carrot has, okay? So we're going to start by setting a carrot up inside here. Then we're going to put a green bean next to that carrot.